Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Yurii, the head of business growth at Woodpecker. Hello.
Hi Christian, nice to be here. What's up, everyone?
Nice to have you. I finally connected with you on LinkedIn, and then I firstly connected with you on LinkedIn, and then we met at SaaS in London. So that was amazing. At first, please tell us what is Woodpecker.
So Woodpecker basically it's a sequencer like Outreach or Slayersoft. It's a tool that allows you to send cold emails at scale. Not only cold emails, but we've started with cold emails and later expanded towards the social selling abilities, giving you an opportunity to call people and save notes. So we're right now in our journey to becoming like an all-in-one solution um, for people who want to send cold emails, who want to get new clients, and that's pretty much it.
What do you say is the biggest problem that you see in the space? The biggest problem that you solve?
Yeah, so we've started back in 2015, and then the biggest problem was is that you had to invest lots of money into marketing to attract your ideal customers.
Yep.
And it was kind of unfair for us when you already knew who you should attract and wanted to give people an opportunity to live on their terms so they are not dependent on Google algos and stuff like that, but they can just strictly reach out to the people who are their potential customers.
I understand. Okay. And now, right now, what are your current products?
So we actually split into three products. Basically,
Okay.
the core itself is the same. It's the tool that allows you to send cold emails on scale. But now we're following the market trends, and we've seen over the time, we've seen the development, what people are actually needed. So we've split. So the first one is the basic cold emailing solution on scale. The second one is the agency tool. Basically, it's the cold emailing platform for agencies. So there, in the meantime, there are a lot of companies started doing business who help you connect with potential customers on your behalf.
Yes.
And they have slightly different needs for those platforms. So this is the product, the second product, whom is it for? And the
Okay.
third one is we call it like sales assistant. Basically, that's everything that's new going on with the market, AI, all the cool features out there. So we're working on it, and it's going to be a very interesting one.
Nice. Nice. What did you say are the top three most loved features by your customers?
So deliverability, that's when we started. Then obviously we were like a leaders at the market because we were the first ones to start with this agency feature
Okay.
so people loved it a lot. And right now people love us for our UI design, for how clear and simple it is to get started, how easy it is to track stats and stuff like that.
What did you say are the most common use cases? Who can use your product? What teams?
Yeah, so basically it's really a lot because when you think of it, businesses who need potential customers, new customers, it's pretty much everyone qualifies for that. So let's start for each product. Cold emailing is just organizations up to 50 people,
Okay.
even or people like solopreneurs or like people who are just wanting doing some stuff. I don't know, they are posting on LinkedIn and they want to reach out via emails. That's for cold email. Agencies, obviously, it's the agencies, the companies who are managing like up to 100 accounts of
Wow.
different companies. And sales assistant is more for like, cutting edge sales teams who need to go multi-channel. They
Yeah.
need to save lots of time on different things. So those are, let's say, like a bigger sales organizations.
Do you have a favorite customer success story that you can share with us?
Yeah, that was actually funny. So once when I joined with Parker like almost 8 years ago. I was in the founding crew, and
Okay.
then so we had one customer who was like he was just starting his business, and cold emailing stuff was new to him, and we helped educate him as much as we knew about that stuff. So, and that's kind of where our relationship for that time ended. See, he was still using Woodpecker,
Okay.
but when you have a happy paying customer who knows a lot about the tool, who has a business figured out, doesn't have any technical problems, you don't hear much from him. And then he reached out to me like a year ago, asking like, "Yo, Yuri, can you do like a couple of consultant sessions for me, for my company. I was like, oh yeah, you actually hire some people. Like, yeah, now I have like 300 people in my company on board. Now we're like
Wow.
Series B company. I was like, yo, crazy. And his sales team was like up to 30 people or something like that. So that was really cool to see him succeeding from just like, starting
Wow.
and getting to pretty big level.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that transparency. What are the integrations that people use most commonly?
Pipedrive, HubSpot, Google Sheets, things like that. So either something where they keep prospects, so a lot of people keep prospects in Sheets and stuff like that,
Mhm.
or in Pipedrive, like in their CRMs. But also they want like a two-way communication. So in case anything happens, so we contact people. We send those cold emails. Then we have a response. So they want to have a two-way communication. So as soon as something happens in our tool, it already creates an automatic node or moves the deal further in a stage in the pipeline. So those are the most common ones.
Yeah, I think that's super important. And I saw a lot of salespeople being frustrated with that they have to update all the time the CRM and stuff. Yeah. I'd love to know how competitive is your space and how do you differentiate?
It's crazy competitive. Lots of companies join in the space. So you have like the companies who are focused on enterprise level. So mostly like Salesloft, Outreach. Then you have like all-in-one solutions, Apollo, the pretty big company right now.
Yeah.
There's also other that are competitors to Apollo. Then you have slightly like, companies who are trying to target SMBs. That's like us, Lemlist, and many others. So, and as the time goes, more and more companies join this space because there's a way to innovate. Like,
Yes.
the need is huge. A lot of people need that. A lot of people are using that. What happens for the companies like us or Lemlist, you grow like crazy at a certain point, and then you start getting lots of requests. So there's lots of management starts to happening. And during that period of management, there's where those small companies can join and see like, okay, what's the things that our market is craving for? And they just deliver that one thing, and now they are in the game. So a lot of new players joined in the recent years. They are great. They are keeping us in shape. That's what makes it interesting.
That's great. And I'm happy to see that you're not afraid of competition. Now, more on the company side, please tell us the founding story of Woodpecker.
Yeah, so the story was simple. At first, we wanted to create a platform for fitness coaches to find clients and to keep communicating with clients. So that was like an app which called 52 Challenges. And so we started working on that. But then at a certain point, we were like, hey, we actually have a problem contacting those coaches. And we asked our IT guy, our CTO, like, can you just write some code so we can automate those emails because it's taking lots of time?
Yeah.
And he written the code. We started contacting, and in the meanwhile, we were like, hold on, this is actually interesting. Because we were building something completely different things, like in the fitness space. But then we realized that there's a huge business need, and we looked around. Outreach and Salesloft were just only getting started. Like they were like year-old companies.
Wow.
We were like, this is actually a great timing for us to start because they were focused on the bigger contracts, less flexible. And we were like, hey, let's actually do that. And we were the first one to one of the first ones to join the field. And that's how Woodpecker started. We completely pivoted from that idea and started working on the UI and kind of designing how the platform would look like. We went completely different direction. So our logo and our website design, when everyone was doing white websites, we had like a completely black website page. With a big logo of Woodpecker, and people loved it because it was so controversial. It was so against the wind. And I guess that's how we put our space. Like we found our space by being so different.
What year was the pivoting?
2016. Yeah, like the beginning of 2016, I would say.
And the company was called Woodpecker even before? Or
No, it
this
was
was
called 52 Challenges, and then we switched it to Woodpecker.
okay, makes sense. And you're part of the founding team. How
Yeah.
many members were there when you started Woodpecker, and how many members are now?
It was, I guess, 8 people, because 8 people started Woodpecker. There was a couple of people in sales, one in marketing, two IT guys, one support, and that was it. So we were like, so that was, and obviously the founder, the CEO, and now, phew, now it's like 150 something, whatever.
Okay.
We try to be very careful with whom we hire. That's why also during these times we haven't laid off a lot of people. We actually had some layoffs, unfortunately. That sucked for us, but we only laid off a couple of people just to get more effective. But we always try to be like money conscious, and
Yep.
then always try to work in a future scenario to like future proof ourselves for many things. So yeah.
Is this a bootstrapped business?
No, we had angel investors. We
Okay.
also had yeah, we mostly had angel investors in the
But then
beginning.
you started growing on your own.
Yeah, it was like, so we went public like 2 years ago
Yeah.
here in Poland, right?
Wow.
It's not Nasdaq, so it's not like a billion-dollar valuation, something like
Yeah.
that. But we went public here, and yeah, that gave us lots of boost in terms of capital to do cool things.
Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't knew you're public.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Next thing, what would you describe the culture at Woodpecker?
So the culture was the one thing that we were really conscious about. So our founder, he had a previous business, like, the CEO had a previous business, which was a service business, and he was also involved in the boards of a couple of businesses before he started Woodpecker.
Okay.
And the culture was like top-notch thing that he always praised at the beginning, and it so infected the people who joined at first, like me and other people who are actually mostly still here. Like 75% of the founding crew is still in Woodpecker.
Amazing.
Yeah. So because there really was something very unusual, because when someone comes to you and says like, hey, my goal is to do this, but I don't want you just to work on my goal. I want to understand what is your goal. Why are you doing this? What are you trying to pursue? And how can I help you do that? And this is the conversations we've been having ever since with every employee. Like, because like as Ben Horowitz says, your culture is who you are. So when the going gets tough, you're actually dependent on your people, like, to being efficient and stuff like that. And only knowing like the reason why they're staying here, because not for the money, you can always get a better offer somewhere else. But when you actually know why you're staying here, it helps the company survive in the tough times. It helps to have like low people turnover.
Yep.
So that was really important.
Congratulations again. I appreciate you. I'd love to know what
Thanks.
is your biggest challenge on the opposite side, let's say on the
So challenge, people capacity.
Yeah.
So we try to be really effective, and with everything that we have, we try to optimize it as much as possible before we hire. So we want to know that we have really great people on board. They're doing some great stuff, but we just want to enable them to deliver like really well and don't have problems with that. And that's not always the case, because we keep experimenting with the things, how we measure stuff, how we do stuff in IT department, how we go around things in sales, because cold emailing world is changing a lot. Tips and things that are working right now are not productive in some time. So just to give you a perspective, some time ago it was really popular to send cold emails with like personalized images.
Yeah.
Then it went away. Then videos came crazy great, like personalized image with videos. Then social selling came on board. Then an ability to have AI writing your emails. So you need to be very quick to respond, and you kind of need to foresee the future a little bit. And when the thing happens, you need to be quick by delivering good quality, and that's the challenge.
Yeah, I understand. And right now you are the head of sales. You're the head of the sales team.
Yeah, but I haven't really announced it, but I more became like a just growth person. So doing like strategic things right now. We actually have another head of sales. I'm just more like, acquisitions, some strategic partnerships, and basically all stuff LinkedIn, spreading the awareness around that. So that's kind of how my role evolved. But I'm still involved in sales. I'm helping develop new products that we still haven't announced. But I'm helping to find a core group of people and stuff like that.
That's great. And how big is the sales team right now?
8 people.
Okay. I'd love to know one mistake that you made, and you can share with us one mistake and one learning.
As a company or me specifically?
Which one you prefer, or both? Up to you.
As a company, I'd say that not foreseeing how the crazy potential of the market is, because when you build a tool, you need to understand that later you need to scale the tool very quick. And the way that our tool was built at first, it meant that we had to work some time on rewriting it a little bit. So that was a mistake as a company. So make sure that whatever you're building at first can be scaled later easily, but not had to be rewritten. And me personally, what I'd say, probably as a sales rep, at some point I hadn't prospected consistently. But when you prospect consistently, you don't have any problems with the pipeline. You have deals coming in. You're not desperate. You're not needy. And when you don't do that, all the troubles, all the hell breaks loose.
You're right. And how did you get your first customers?
So it was discounted a little bit. So we had a couple of discounts because that was early 2016, and people were still mixing things up. I don't need another newsletter solution. We're like, no, we're not newsletters. And so there was a few came from the founder surroundings. Most of those were found. I'd say the first 100 or something, or 50 or something came inbound, and then the next 100 or something came outbound. And then we had a mix that inbound started really working well because we invested a lot into SEO. We invested in SEO as well, and SEO, and things started doing really well.
And today, which one is the most successful? The most
SEO.
Yeah.
SEO, the tracks are, like SMBs, and cold outreach works on the bigger accounts.
Makes sense. What is the vision for the future of the company and for your future?
So the vision is clear, just to make the tool an assistant of yours who can get you the stuff that is daunting, is boring, do it for yourself and do it really well. So let's say you want to contact someone, but you don't know how to find the data and where to start. You don't need to do that. You just ask the tool, I need those and those prospects.
Yeah.
And then he automatically suggests you the script for the message that's been proven by the proven templates. And then he sets up the campaign for yourself and give you the stats and the updates. So you don't basically have to do anything, which is really hard. And that's the idea.
And how will AI impact the sales world?
It's already impacting.
Yeah. Do you think there will be a saturation of messages and templates and?
It's not only those are the things that we see on the surface, but it also implements a lot of stuff which goes unseen, like the mechanics and workflows that you're capable of building. Not only can just write messages for you, but let's say I just ask, I need these prospects, and as the end result, I have the campaign set up for 150 prospects with really great messages written specifically for those people. And when anything happens, I automatically get a ping in my CRM or whatever I set it up to be. And then I have a summary of each week, whatever the conversations are ongoing, sent to the specific people. And I mean, it's so crazy what things can do, but it's the matter of working on building that workflow to actually make sense and not being too hyped about it, because too many companies are like, oh, ChatGPT is the stuff, we need to invest in this. And, I mean, it's great, but it still needs a lot of prompting on top of it to make sure it's relevant for these these days tactics, and these things change a lot. So we are actually in the position that we have a lot of data, and we are trying to tie AI with that data to make sure that you're actually, if you want to use AI for cold emails, it is actually on something that makes sense.
Thank you for sharing. Now we got to the personal side. I'd love to know how you started your career as a salesperson.
I was in students' organizations. Like I was 19. I was like, when I was in college, I was getting funds for the college for the projects that we were doing. And
Okay.
actually, like I didn't like it at first, but I was good at it. And then I came to like it. And then one friend of mine said like, hey, this company's hiring. Why don't you apply? This is pretty cool. Like, seems interesting. I applied. I got hired. And this is how my journey in sales started. And it's ever since it's been a crazy ride.
And what was your first position at Woodpecker?
I was a junior inbound rep.
And then how did you, what was the journey?
So like within a year and a half, I progressed to like senior, and then, or to, no, within a year and a half, I progressed to head, like, team lead.
Okay.
And then I've started managing my team for quite a long time. And now I've progressed more into kind of this position where I am responsible for lots of cool things that I see we need to do.
Yeah, probably one of the coolest jobs. But I'd love to know your best piece of advice for a starting salesperson, for somebody that just finished college, let's say, and wants to get into sales.
Try to replicate the best reps from the organization that you are in. Just, shadow them, like, be their shadow, see what they're doing, like try to steal their templates, twist it a little bit. Just don't just blindly copy it. Just like, and get inspired by that. But do more than them, because they know what they need to do, what they don't. At first, you won't be really knowing what you need to invest focus. So just do more and be prospecting all the time. And most of the time, forget about things and the way you were taught about writing in college, because writing in college doesn't mean the writing in the business. Like, how do you contact potential clients? So, yeah.
That's right. And I think copywriting is still essential. Even with ChatGPT, you need to master
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Thank you. And now the big question that I always wanted to ask you, what's your secret to your LinkedIn engagement and social selling?
I just studied people who succeeded. So there's no silver bullet. The more time you put into LinkedIn with the strategy, kind of when you think through it, the more return you'll get. So I've been doing lots of outreach for quite a lot of time. So I gathered some knowledge about it. And then I was like, all right, I want to start sharing with the world. How do I do it? I just started observing people who were killing it and still are killing it. And I'm just like, try to be better 1% every day. So like I've gathered, I don't know, 30 or 40 accounts that I wanted to follow. I was just studying their posts, what they were writing about. At first, you're finding your style. So you just need to get inspired as much as possible. And then you'll create your own style in the process, but you need to get started in order to do that. So just like as a prospect, I showed up every day, no matter how hard that was. I spent time as an extra time. I didn't spend like a work time.
Yeah.
But then when the company seen the returns, like I got top 200 on LinkedIn, top 25 sales execs in the world, they were like, yo, you're amazing at it. Like, why don't you just spend the time fully on it? I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. It's cool.
Yes, I think that's an amazing opportunity. But how can I saw that you have had a post with 75k likes, the Spotify playlist. How did you come up with that? I think it's amazing.
I was just scrolling through internet. I seen
Just
that
trends,
meme.
Yeah.
Well, it was not a trend at that time. It was just like this meme originated in 2017, and I seen that message around like just life topics, and I never thought of, hey, that would be cool just to adapt it to a cold email. And I posted that, but I actually made it a little bit different. I was just posting, like, it was a week after I started posting. So I had like 2,000 followers from my sales career over the 6 years that have attracted people. Like,
okay.
And I wanted to get some exposure to that post.
Yes.
So the day before, I created a post about 30 minutes to President's Club. Like, this is my favorite podcast. about sales, and I tag like, yo, this is my favorite episodes from that podcast, and I tag those people in the post. They all showed up because 30 Minutes to President's Clubs is a pretty prestige podcast. It's really like top notch.
Okay.
They commented, so that what that meant, that post performed the best out of my old post that I posted like in a week, and it boosted the reach for my next post, which was the Spotify, and that thing just took off.
Oh, so that post was one of your first posts, the Spotify one?
Yeah, it was like a week after posting.
Wow. And how many followers, or how much did it help you to grow?
So I was like in 2,500 followers, and after that post, it was like 8,000 followers.
Wow. 3x. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. And how much do you think it helps, this social selling on LinkedIn? How crucial is it for companies to do it?
Oh, social selling is here to stay. People are addicted to social media. They're not addicted to reading email inboxes.
You're right.
So it's an alternative to follow-ups, and it's not going to hurt you unless you're just investing too much in it. Because I see a lot of people neglecting their main activities, like as cold email and cold calling. But if you add on top of it, creating content, it's definitely a superpower.
So it's a combination of multi-channel, but yeah.
I still think cold email, cold call is the number one.
The king. Yeah.
And then you just add social selling. It just adds. It helps you build trust, because right now, like, I guess it's 83% of the time, if we're looking at the buying process, 83% of the time is spent without sales reps. So if you're a buyer, like you're spending most time without sales reps. So, and then only you're in that 17%, you're reaching out to multiple suppliers. So it's not even actually you only, but it's multiple people. So at best you have like a 5% chance. So I think it's just worthwhile investment being where your prospects learn before they come to you, because that's how you build trust, how you build authority. And it's, it's no longer like a cold outreach. It's going to be more like a warmer conversation.
Totally right. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, and I'll probably create a short with what you said. It's amazing. And I also wanted to add that if you connect with people at conferences, and then you have them on LinkedIn, they'll see you every day posting, they'll trust you, and whenever they need a tool or they need someone in your field, they'll know that you are the guy that they trust. So I think that that's also a constant reminder of your face and of 100%. Your product. Yeah, thank you so much. One question that I ask all my guests is, what's your favorite SaaS product that you use, but apart from your company, from Woodpecker?
A SaaS product. Well, I'd be very blunt right now. As now I'm a lot of into writing. There is one product which is called Cleo, like Kleo.
Okay.
It's developed by my friend Jake Ward, and it helps you to see top performing content on LinkedIn by each person. So if you go on the LinkedIn page of theirs and you just like load it in Cleo, it will show you their best posts on LinkedIn. So if you want to get inspired from those people and you want to see their best performing content, this is the tool that I recommend.
And what do you think about LinkedIn extensions or tools like this? Do you think that they'll ban it, or are they safe?
So Cleo is actually not automating. So if we're talking about specifically this, so it's not actually automating the outreach or scraping the prospects. It's not stealing your content. It's just rearranges the way it's viewed.
Okay.
So it's safer for this. But a lot of the tools, it's this is why we had a problem also in Woodpecker. We wanted to long time have a native LinkedIn integration, but LinkedIn is really picky about that. The one thing. Two, in a lot of tools are in the gray area, which getting blocked or hurting your LinkedIn profiles, which is scary. So,
but right now, do you have an extension right now at Woodpecker?
Yeah, we have right now. We actually finally found a tool that integrated natively into LinkedIn, so it's not in the gray zone, and we integrated with them.
So there's no risk associated with
it. So from Woodpecker side, it's all good right now.
Good, congratulations. Okay, I think those are my main questions. If you have anything else to share today, you already shared immense value, and I appreciate you joining in. But if you have anything else to share today, other learnings, advice, people to follow, podcasts, recommendations, books, anything?
Well, it's great to learn stuff, but what I'd say is actually learn more by doing stuff than just reading and learning about that. So I'll tell y'all, just get started. Don't overthinking. A lot of people who are succeeding right now, who are like, top one people in their industries, just started doing that. They're not the smartest person in the field, but they just got started and they didn't quit. That's one thing. Two, don't overthink it. You don't have to be perfect to get ready to start. There are different ways. And three, just when you can't outsmart someone, just outwork them at first. And just get doing. You've been reading a lot of cool content. You've been reading lots of books, lots of podcasts. Now is the time to apply that knowledge. Just do it. Like Christian is doing it. He's starting the podcast right now. He's doing the podcast. He's going to those conferences. So that's the way to grow.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate you joining in. Thank you so much. You did great.
Thank you, Christian.